Hello, everybody. This is Mandy at Laugh and Grackle, and we are going to be having our transparent tonight. So let's get started.
Knight of Wands upright. Very charismatic young man with a risk-taking personality. Loves being in the spotlight and has a taste for the finer things in life. Very interested in political views on things and very opinionated, plus loves a good debate. Eight of Cups upright. This is someone who is reaching for the future but has things that they just don't want to let go of, building the staircase of cups hinting to the leaving things behind. The Devil upright. This is usually about the physical gains of the material realm, but I think this is a call to explore some of fears that we're limiting ourselves with and to be able to put them to rest within ourselves. Calming those fears allows us to move forward in spite of our fears. Combined, we have a call to put things to rest within ourselves. That means we have to look at things that got us to where we are now and decide what in our habits or attitudes that we have to make some serious changes in our lives, in order to get bigger gains in life. Deciding which habits or attitudes that need to be changed can be a daunting process, but it is necessary to reach our goals. This person is going to have to understand that those changes are going to trigger some people who don't align with them anymore, which makes them feel like they are being deserted. The isolation is a huge trigger for them. Getting to the other side of this trigger will give us exactly what we need to get our dreams.
The Knight of Wands. This is somebody who's, for the lack of better terms, very Leo-ish. They like being in the spotlight, and they're very, most people like them a lot, and they have kind of extravagant taste, and they're very opinionated because they're really into the whole political thing. Now, the Eight of Cups, this is somebody who is really trying to reach their goals for the future. But it's one of those things, they kind of want to stay where they're at as well. And, because of the building blocks of cups, some of them are turned upside down, some are upright, that is that they're really having some issues with letting go. They want to go towards the future, but they're still holding on to something in their past, and they have to figure out what they need to change. Now, the Devil. This is more about the things that we get in the physical realm. They're very, this card always talks about materialistic things and, physical things that, we're having issues with. Now, with this, they feel like they have to change something. They've got the pull, they know what they need to do, but yeah, they're kind of, they're fearing the unknown is basically what it amounts to. And they have to really look within themselves and say, okay, how did I get to this point? And, what changes have I done in the past to get me to this point? And how what else can I change to get where I want to go? And, they really have a hard time with that. But the thing about it is, if they do it, if they actually make the change, they're going to start seeing bigger stuff happening. And that's why looking at the changes that got them to that point makes more sense than staying where they are, because they know that they're not making what they need. Now, that's why whenever we do the changes of our habits and our attitudes, things starts changing around a little bit. And when they start to do that, that's when people will start kind of falling away, because they're not adding to their life anymore. They were only supposed to be there for a little bit. So they need to sit there and go, okay, I need to make this move. I need to make, this change. I need to make, all this other stuff happen. And whenever they do that, they themselves get triggered. And, they start really, really feeling abandoned and deserted. And that's what causes the trigger. But they know they need to get over that trigger to get where they need to go. Now, that's where those changes come into effect. Well, we are going to be having our soul coaching and our stained glass tomorrow. So come on back and see me. Do the like and shares, and I'll see you guys then.